Today we'll be installing the ZimmDak Industries two-piece cup holder that fits the 1984 to 1996 Jeep Cherokee and the 1986 to 1992 Jeep Comanche that have the full-length center console you can see here. To install your two-piece cup holder, you want to start by getting yourself a Phillips screwdriver and have a flathead on hand with a thin blade just in case you need it for prying. We'll start by opening the center console lid and locating these two screws. We'll go ahead and remove these screws and just set them in the seat beside you. Now that we have these two screws removed, we need to remove this black centerpiece. To do so, we'll start by pulling off the shift handle. Just firmly grip it and pull up, and it'll come off. This piece may come out with it. Just shove it back in there, that's fine. Set this on the seat beside you. Next, we'll want to remove the shift bezel. In order to do that, you may need to use your screwdriver to help pry a little bit on the edge. Sometimes you can just reach in here with your finger and it'll pop loose. Carefully wiggle that loose. Once you get about this high, reach underneath and pull out this light bulb. It's just a pressure fit. Slide your bezel off. After your bezel's removed, set it aside. We'll take our Phillips head screwdriver and remove the screw located right here. Try not to drop it down inside the hole. Thankfully, mine landed right there. I was able to grab it. Once the screw here is removed, this black insert will be ready to come out. Now, on an automatic, in order to get this out, we will have to shift out of park. So we'll need to get our key ready. Go ahead and shut the door if you don't want to listen to the buzzer. Hold your brake and just turn it to accessory. Shift it into neutral and turn it back out of accessory. Keep your foot on the brake at this point to ensure the Jeep doesn't roll anywhere. It would be best to chock the wheels if you have anything to chock them with. We will also have to set the handbrake in order to get this out, so that will hold the Jeep if your emergency brakes still function. A lot of times in these older Jeeps they don't, so do not rely on this unless you are positive it works. Now that we got our emergency brake pulled, we're in neutral, foot's still on the brake. We'll go ahead and lift up on the black insert, and it may take a little bit of flex, and you may have to pull up a little harder on your handbrake, and you'll want to slide it up and out. There are two little plastic nubs on here. You want to be careful not to snap those off. We'll go ahead and set that aside for right now. Now, take your two-piece cup holder, pull off the cup holder portion, and now we'll need to remove one of the brackets. We'll take our Phillips head screwdriver and we'll back that screw out. These are slightly smaller screws, so you may need to find a smaller flathead or a Phillips head to get these out. But once that's removed, pull that screw, and this bracket will just slide out of the bottom. It may take a little bit of force to get it out. They are somewhat tight sometimes. Once you have one bracket removed, we want to take the side that has the bracket and slide it on. And we'll set our mount piece on there like this. We'll see the brackets underneath the black insert. We'll need to put this bracket back in. Now, if you happen to drop the screw for this bracket or lost it, on the reverse of the mount, there is a spare screw, so use that if you need to. With this clipped on, we need to insert this one. Make sure these holes are lined up. Just hold it there. Slide your angle bracket back in. And then we'll start the screw by hand. And then use our Phillips head screwdriver to tighten it back up. Now at this point, your mount will be held on there, but it'll be somewhat loose at the top. Now that the mount is attached to this black insert, we're ready to reinstall. We'll need to shift it back out of park into neutral. Set the front of the bezel in place. Pull back on your handbrake slightly and slide it back down. Release your handbrake. Shift back into park for now. And you can take your foot back off the brake. Now, this is just sitting here lightly. There are two clips right in the center. That's where you want to push down. And make sure those clip back into place. There we go. Once we have it clipped into place, we want to grab our Phillips head screwdriver and the screw we removed from here. And we'll go ahead and reinstall this screw. Once that screw's tight, we'll grab our shift bezel. Now on the shift bezel, there's a little red indicator that slides when you shift. That indicator position can be adjusted by this slide. This slide will slide the openings up and down. In order to get this aligned properly, we'll need to shift back into neutral. We'll go ahead and start our shifter through the hole and insert the bulb. Set your shift plate down and just clip the front in. Leave the back slightly up. Shift yourself into park. Now you'll want to look to make sure the red is completely covering your park cutout. If it's not, pop this back up and reach underneath to adjust the position of the openings. Go ahead and set it back down. Once you're happy with the position, clip it back into place. Now we can go ahead and pop this back on. You may have to give it some force to get it to snap back in. Put your foot on the brake. Make sure it shifts properly. And now we're done with the shifter portion. Next, we'll want to take our Phillips head screwdriver and we'll go ahead and reinstall these two screws. Now when installing these screws, don't over tighten them to the point that this cracks. Just get them nice and snug. Go ahead and make sure your console still latches. It may take a little bit more force to close it now. You won't be able to just set it down and it'll latch. You'll have to actually push it down or let it fall from a height. If it doesn't latch, you may have to tighten these a little bit more. Just be careful not to go too tight. Now that we know our console latches, we're good to set our cup holder in, and the installation is done. Now, in order to operate the cup holder, you can just reach underneath and pull your handbrake up until it contacts the cup holder. Now, in order for that to work, your emergency brake will have to be in good shape and adjusted properly. Most Jeeps, that's not going to be the case. So in most Jeeps, you're going to need to lift the cup holder portion out, set your handbrake, and then you can set the cup holder portion back down just on top of it. It should stay in place with a cup in it. If you don't feel safe leaving it that way, with the cup in it like that, you can just set this piece on the floor or in the seat next to you If you're installing the two-piece cup holder in a manually shifted Jeep, the process is the exact same with the exception of your shifter, instead of pulling it straight up, you'll need to unscrew the knob, and then the boot clips on just the same as this does. So the process is the same, it's just you'll be threading the knob on and you'll be pulling a boot off instead of the shift indicator. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and follow us on social media to be updated on new parts and videos. Go to ZimmDakIndustries.com to see all the parts and products that we offer. Be sure to use the Contact Us link or scroll down on the home page to the Services Offered section to let us know of a product you'd like to see available or to have something custom made just for you.